This video is for any of my subscribers, but directed toward a comment I made on a Facebook post. Now, there's a whole bunch of these posts, saying how they're going to stop supporting Windows 10. I say, hey, join us Linux users. And now I use Linux Mint. I'm recommending Mint. It's free. It's easy to use, easy to set up. You go to the. It's one of quite a number of good Linux distributions. The reason I recommend Mint is because it's close. It's close to using it is close to Windows, and for newbie Linux users, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy to use. There are some basic differences, and there are other how-to videos on how to set up, how to use the different distros. Now, if you want the different distros, there's a very good site called distrowatch.com. You can go there and all the they list most of them. There's a handful that they don't list. Wikipedia, if you type list of Linux distributions, it'll come up. It's listed several different ways on Wikipedia. But you go to get the ISO file. That's it. That's a basic program. You go to linuxmint.com and you go to the download section, and then it'll give you a whole list of worldwide mirrors. Now, I've always used the James Madison site. It's one I've always used, and it's super fast. You download the ISO file. That file is between 3 and 4 gigabytes, so it is a sizable file. You use a program. Now, with Windows, there's a program called Etcher. I've never used it. The one I use comes bundled with Linux Mint. That's the one I always use. You get the ISO file. When you get the complete file, you put it on a thumb drive. This actually has Linux Mint on it. Now you plug it into your computer. Now you've got to get it to boot from the USB drive. Now depending upon your system, you might have to go into the CMOS memory and then tell it to boot from the USB drive. Or some of them you hit a couple keys. Some of them you hit the delete key or the escape key when it first boots, but you're gonna have to find out for your particular system because they said it does vary from machine to machine. But Linux Mint will boot and run as a live distribution. It means it's running from the USB drive and not on the hard drive. Now, you want to run it initially from the USB drive. You want to do several things. First, you want to make sure you like it, make sure you understand how to use it, and you want to make sure it's compatible with your hardware. Now, if you do want to run it and have issues, now Linux Mint and many of the distros have what they call user forums. They'll usually the website will direct you to the user forum. How to get to there, and you can join that forum and then post your hardware questions on the forum. Or generally you want to read through the comments, like frequently asked questions, because somebody else probably has had that problem, has probably already posted there, and some of the other Linux gurus have probably posted solutions. Now you can completely erase your whatever your current operating system is. Let's say you got Windows on there, but you probably want to set up as a dual boot. Now, Linux Mint will let you do that. I've done it once or twice. I usually just have a clean install of just this Linux Mint, but you can have a dual boot. And when the machine first comes on, it'll say, it'll ask you, do you want to run Windows or do you want to run Linux? That's if you still had Linux software, Linux programs that you want to run, that would be the way to do it as a dual boot system. I can give you some other pretty good distributions. Ubuntu is another one. I'd stay away from Ubuntu though because it was bought by Microsoft. It's got some issues with it. Is Ubuntu Studio, which is another good one. Is Zorn. Zorn is another one intended for first-time users. I've run it as a live distro. I've never installed it. Now, once you're sure that you like it and it's all your hardware works, you do have the option to go ahead and install it. And anyway, I'm taking you through that. So join us Linux Mint users. I think you have a lot of fun with it. I wouldn't make Bill Gates any richer than he already is. That it is free, but you can donate if you want. Okay, love y'all. Bye bye. Let's have fun.